friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley if you are new here, and in this video I wanted to share how much we spent on homeschooling our first year. I'm really excited to make this video because I just thought it was really interesting. I would be really interested to see how much other people spend on homeschooling each year. Also, I feel like it can be really helpful for people who are considering homeschooling or just are not sure what to expect. A little bit of a disclaimer though is just that all of the stuff that I purchased is 100% not necessary. You can homeschool for essentially free. There are some really good free curriculum out there like The Good and the Beautiful, and I know there are others. So if you're watching this to see if you will be able to afford to homeschool, please don't let my journey or someone else's journey discourage you, because you definitely don't need all of the things that I bought. So I also wanted to share that this video is in collaboration with Brooklyn Lee here on YouTube. I'm so excited to do this collaboration with her because I really feel like you guys will love her channel too, because she actually has the same amount and the same gender of kids as I do. She has a 5-year-old son who she is homeschooling preschool this year, a 2 or 3-year-old son like Riley, like my middle son, and then she has a infant daughter like Melly. So it's been really fun to get to know her, and I find her videos so relatable, and I feel like you guys will really love her too. So after you're done watching this video, don't forget to check out her video because she's also sharing how much she spent on her first year homeschooling as well. So to begin, I thought it would be only fitting to start with curriculum because that is the main part of homeschooling, and that is probably the bulk of the amount of money that I spent. So if you guys have been watching my channel, then you obviously know that we have done the Gather Round Preschool curriculum. It technically has 4 units. I have only purchased the last 2 units, one being in the jungle, and this was about $50. And then I also purchased the 4th unit, which was in the air, which was also about $50. So for each of these curriculums, I purchased the digital copies of them, and then I printed them out and I put them in these binders. They came with the teacher's guide and then 2 student guides. So then the next thing that I purchased after those units, or technically it was in between those 2 units, was The Good and the Beautiful's preschool course, which came with the course book, the extra practice sheets, and the games, which was also about $50. I intended to use this as a supplemental course for my son, and then we actually haven't used it, but I am saving it to hopefully use with one of my other children as they get older. So also with that preschool course, I also picked up The Good and the Beautiful's Science for Little Hands and Hearts. I have the course, well, this one is the Teacher's Guide course book and the Big Book of Science stories that came together, and this was about $40. I picked this up with, I think, the intention of saving it for next year. So actually something to know about all of this stuff is that I actually ended up buying so much curriculum that it's enough curriculum to use for next year as well. So this is almost like how much I spent on the first 2 years of homeschooling, because I have been like trying to figure things out and buying things and things not working and that sort of a thing. And I feel like when you first start, you may end up spending a bit more money than in the following years because you're really learning your teaching style, you're learning your child's learning style, and some things might not work for you, which is what happened to us, and I was just kind of learning what worked, I guess. So a lot of this stuff is going to be used next year. And then the next thing is the Good and the Beautiful's Math K with the book and the manipulative box. This was $50 as well. And then I picked up a handwriting book for my son, which was $13. I also picked up an arts and crafts book, which was $17. And then I also picked up this Evan Moore kindergarten geography book, which was $10. And then the last thing that I also purchased, which we are not using this year either, and or actually I purchased it in with the intention of using it next year, but it's actually something that we are going to be using the following year, which is our Sunlight program. I purchased it off of Facebook used, and it was $170. So that brings us to a total of $440 for curriculum. So like I said, keep that in mind that that is for this year and next year, and honestly technically some into the third year because of Sunlight. So we have a little guest on the channel because my husband was taking all the kids for a walk, and Miss Melly is getting tired, so she's going to join us for the rest of the video. So something else that I wanted to include in this video was also supplemental resources that we bought, and different miscellaneous things that I bought just to organize all of our homeschool stuff, because that sort of stuff adds up as well, and I bought it for homeschooling, so I thought it would be helpful to share those things too. So the next section of things that I wanted to share is what I considered supplemental resources. And the first thing that I wanted to share was our Bob books. So these ones are the ones that I bought, and I paid $17 for them. So the next thing on the list is this reading workbook, which I paid $10 for on Amazon. I also bought these Brain Quest flashcards, which were $11. I also purchased this hundreds chart for $11. It also came with all of the numbers to put on the chart. And then the last thing on the list are just these miscellaneous workbooks that I picked up in the Target dollar spot, which were $5 total because they were each just $1. So I think that is everything in that section, and the total for that one is $54. The next thing that I wanted to mention was just organizing supplies and art supplies and that sort of a thing, because that stuff also really adds up. I was going to show you each of these things, but it is getting a little bit difficult holding the baby, so I will just tell you what they are and maybe just pop in a picture of what they are. I bought two different organizational caddies. One was $18 and one was $17. I also purchased a whiteboard and markers for $42. I also purchased binders to put the curriculum in, which were $27 total. I purchased a bunch of random art supplies that equaled $40. I purchased a world map to put on the wall so that we could put up the animals in the jungle unit, which was $21. And then I also wrote down that I spent $82 on ink printing out the curriculum. My printer was not a like EcoTank printer, and it's cost a lot of money to print all of the stuff that I have printed so far. So I also purchased a magazine holder for $20, a pencil sharpener for $13, a globe for $20, acrylic drawers for $25, a file organizer for $24, and bookends for $22. So that total ends up being $371. But keep in mind, I bought that over the course of 9 months, so I was buying a little bit here and a little bit there. I didn't just buy all of that at one time. And then the last thing that I wanted to put in here was a printing section. So as I mentioned, I noticed that I was spending quite a lot of money on ink. I also, at this point, knew that I was really enjoying the Good and the Beautiful's style, and I knew that I intended to want to stick with them for language arts and math. I had done a ton of research at this point, and I mean, I'm still not 100% confident that that will obviously work for all of my kids, but that's what I'm hoping will work right now. It seems to be to fit both my teaching style and my son's learning style. Obviously, I have 2 other kids that I'll have to see how they learn as well, but because of that, they give their curriculum away for free online. You just have to download it and print it out. So knowing that, and knowing that I really like the unit studies from Gather Round, I thought it would be best to invest in an EcoTank printer. So that is what we did, and we spent $175 on that, which was actually a steal because we used like credit card points, and we bought one that was newly refurbished. So that ended up being really great. We also had to buy a laminator, which was $25, and coils, which were $29. And then we had to buy the spiral binder, which is basically just like a huge hole punch that punches like a whole bunch of holes along the side so you can run the spiral binding through, which was $165. And then in full disclosure, we also spent $37 on paper because I wanted to buy good quality paper so that the books felt really professional, and that all equals $431. So in total, we spent about $1,300. Hopefully that is accurate. I went through and I added it all up. I believe that's what we spent. To some people, that might not seem like a lot. To other people, that might seem like a crazy amount. But like I said, this is really for 2 years now, and my husband and I really want to invest in our kids' education, and we are happy to do this even if that means we have to sacrifice in other areas. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Don't forget to go check out Brooklyn Lee's video. I'm really excited to see her video and see all the different things that she's purchased for her homeschool. I have a baby who wants to go to sleep, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Supplemental Resources. They are just